Okay, everyone, welcome to our Science and Mathematics Secondary Education Training on Google Tools. And we will have some tools that aren't Google related, but let's get started here. The first thing we're going to do is take a look at Jamboard. And Jamboard is like the new school whiteboard. It's an interactive whiteboard that can be used for science and math applications. You can share your Jamboard with students, and students can work together at the same time on the same problems. As a teacher, when you share a Jamboard with your students, you can start doing a math problem, and you can have your students jump in and finish that math problem all on the same Jamboard. It also has other features such as adding images, sticky notes. You can download Jamboards as PDF, and you can attach Jamboards to Google Classroom and send them as an assignment. You can create multiple frames. So let's get started on Jamboard. I'm going to go to my Google Drive here, and if you want to find out how to get to Jamboard, if you look up here in the top right hand corner where it says Google Apps, this is the Google Apps icon, and you can find like little shortcuts to all your Google tools. You can get to a Jamboard right here, or if you even go to New in the left hand side and go down to More, you can get to Jamboard here as well. Now, if you click it here, it'll take you just to an actual Jamboard, whereas if you go here, it'll take you to the Jamboard homepage. So let's click Jamboard, and right now we're in the Jamboard home. And just real quick, these are some previous jams that I have. You can, for example, you can sort through these jams if you want to go last modified, if you want to go by title, and that'll go in alphabetical order. You can change it from grid to view grid to row view, and you can even right here join an open jam, but that's if you have the Jamboard, the actual Jamboard that you could buy from Google. So let's first create a new Jamboard. So if you want to create a new jam to work on, you just go right down here to this big plus. Okay, it says new jam. I'm going to click on new jam. And whenever you create a new Google document, the first thing you should do is always title that document, because if you don't title the document that you create, you wind up with a bunch of documents that are just called untitled, untitled, untitled. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to where it says untitled jam, and I'm going to rename it. I'll call it math science. And we'll begin by looking at the left hand side, and first we're going to find something to write with. If you click here, you can have a pen, a marker, a highlighter, and a brush. If you look at the pen, it's on black right now. I think the pen is a little too thin. Okay, I like writing with the marker. It's a little thicker. And you can go a level further with the highlighter, and then you can go with the brush. Okay, so as we're getting started here, as with all Google tools, the most important feature is always the backspace, the undo. So if I click this little button right here, undo, it'll take away the previous writing, and then you have an option to redo to bring it back to life. So these are always very important. So I'm going to undo, undo, undo. For now, let's focus on the marker. We'll go with blue. And just before we get started here, I just want to show you some more features. Underneath is an eraser. So you can erase if you make a mistake, or you just want to make it look a little bit nicer. This is the clicker. You use that to click whatever you want. We're going to get to this. You can add images. The adding circles is new. You can also add text. All right, so I can just click here and have a text box. I can begin writing. Hello, these I'm saying hello, these are your notes. So you can put notes on the side as you do your problems. And this right here is the laser. Okay, the laser, as you hold it down and write, it goes away, because the laser just to draw attention to something. So I'm drawing attention right here to the word hello. So let's click on the clicker. And if you ever want to clear the frame, just this frame here, you can click clear frame and it goes away. So for mathematics, this is great. Okay, I'm going to pick the marker blue, and I can put a problem here. So let's do 4x. And as you write with this, you'll get better. So let's do 4x plus 2 equals, let's say 10. Okay, so here I have a math problem, and I could use my eraser to touch it up a little bit. So now here's my math problem, and I always have the option to share this with my students. So as I put this math problem here, okay, maybe I'm in a Zoom, maybe I'm in a Google Meet, and I'm presenting this screen so the students can see this screen, and they're watching me as I'm writing in 4x plus 2. And what I can do is go to the share, and I can share this Jamboard with some students. So let's say student 4. And if I give them editor permission here, okay, now they can edit the Jamboard as I work. So, that's one way to share with them. So now it's shared with one person. If you want to go a step further and share it via Google Classroom, you can do that as well. Okay, it's very easy to share this in Google Classroom. I'm going to jump there right now. And you would rather share it in Google Classroom because it's easier than creating an email list and sending it to each student individually. Let's go on my biology class. So here's my bio class, let's just say, and I'll go to classwork. We'll go to create assignment, and let's just say math work, and then I can go to add, and in my Google Drive, the first thing that pops up is recent. So there's my jam that I'm working on. So I can select this jam. It's selected insert, and now I'm going to share with my students. And the important thing here, the most important thing, right, is to make sure you give them editor access. Okay, you want them to be able to write on this jam as you're doing math problems or you're going over some science stuff. So the magic is in letting them be, students can edit file. That's what you want. And then, obviously you can make a topic. I don't know, whatever. So we could put it in science lab, even though it's not science, and then just assign it to the students. So I'm going to jump back here to the Jamboard. So I've assigned 4x plus 2 equals 10. Now, as my students are seeing this, they're going to have access. My student would maybe jump in, and then I would tell them, hey, get a different color. And I would say, hey, Anthony, jump in and finish this problem. And he could do something like -2 to both sides. He'll start working. And then maybe, he'll cross this out here. And maybe he makes a mistake and he puts 7 here. And then as a teacher, I could jump in. I could say, hold on, Ant, hold on. And then maybe I'll point to this. I'll be like, you sure about this? And then I'll highlight this. I'll be like, what's 10 minus 2? Then Ant can go, oh, okay. And then we can together, I'm pressing the undo. We're going back. And that's what's great too. You can, make changes. And then Anthony will jump in, go back with his red pen. He'll have the 8 here. And then he'll continue to work and work and work. And then if Anthony does a good job, let's say, and he gets the problem correct, I have the option to add a sticky note. Now the sticky note is right here on the side, so I'm clicking sticky note. You can make it a different color. Let's make it blue. I'll say great work, Ant, and go to save. And there you have it. Okay, and this sticky note, you can enlarge it, you can spin it, you can edit it if you made a mistake. You can go back in here, change that sticky note if you spelled his name wrong. If you want to say great work, Anthony. And you even have options here, just a heads up, an option to duplicate or delete it. So here's one problem. So let's say we did one math problem. Now what a lot of teachers will do is they'll clear the frame. If you clear this frame, all this work goes away. What's better is to go up here and just expand the frame bar and get a new frame. So if I go like this here, now I have a brand new frame, because why would I want to delete all this work? Okay, you can save this as notes. Okay, you can download this for students. All right, it's not a good idea to clear the frame. You can go up here to this little more actions, and you can save it as an image. So if I go to save as image, it's going to save as an image to my desktop. So I'm going to write save as image. And if you look down here, it's going to save to my computer. There it is. It's a PNG image. And if you have like a bunch of frames, like I have the second, the third, maybe you have like 40, 50 frames, and you want to save all of them, frames 1 to 20 or something like that, you can go to more actions and then download as a PDF. Okay, so now I'm downloading it as a PDF, and it's going to save, the second frame, the third frame, all of them. Whereas if I just, save as image, it's going to save just the one. So if it's save as image, it'll save just this one. Whereas if I go to download as a PDF, it'll save, the second page that I have here. I have the second page here now. So, I'll have some work here. Let me undo that. So I want to get to science too. I'm doing some math, and I'm going to do some science. I'm not done with the math. Again, with the math, if you might look at this and say, hey, there's not enough room here. What am I going to do? There's not enough room. Well, if you go to this little zoom thing and you go here, you see it's fit 43. If I zoom into, like, let's say 100, and I start writing over here, 2x, let's say plus 3 minus 10 equals, 4x, etc., etc. I'm creating more space because I'll go back now to fit to 43, and you could see, look, I've written all this, and it's only taken up, it's only taken up this little corner right here. So if you're going to have a big math problem, click this, click this zoom, and then, go to 100, and then you'll create enough space that you could, you can even go to 200 if you want. And then, here, take a look. 4x, then I'll go back. One second here. I'll go back to fit, and so you'll be able to get enough space. You can see the 4x is small, kind of smaller than the 2x. Now, so that's for mathematics. Now let's say you're doing science. I'm going to do a new frame, let's say. And let's say I think I had the cell division on the other one. Let's do, for example, let's say I want to do a lesson on the electron transport chain, okay? Because I have a cool infographic coming up. So I can bring in an image here. It says add image. I'm going to select add image. And you can add images from your drive that you have, or your own photos. You could bring in a worksheet, and it'll be like annotating it, but we're just going to bring in an image. Let's say electron transport chain. Select that. We'll go with this one. This one looks nice. So I'm just selecting that image, and I'm pressing select again. And now I've brought in this nice image from the computer, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand it, make it a little bit bigger, right? Let's put it up here. And now I'm presenting this to my students. Okay. My students can see this. And I can go right here to the marker, pick a color, and I can begin explaining this. I could say, okay, light, or right here, and light enters right here. And then I could start writing on stuff, cytochrome. I could point here. I can make, it looks just kind of like making annotations. Don't forget about the laser. I can draw attention here. I can say, okay, it begins right here with light. Light comes and it hits photosystem 2. Okay, it excites the electron. Okay, then water gets split into O2 and hydrogen ion. These hydrogen ions make their way to the ATP synthase, where they get converted, where their energy is used to convert to ATP, etc., and so forth. Right. So this little, again, I'm on the little down here. I'm on the laser. And like I said, you can use the erase if you've written something here. Okay, like I want to get rid of this little marker that I wrote. I could go back to it. What's cool is, again, you can add text. So I can add a text box here and make some notes. So I could write a photo system 2 is begin is at P680, etc. Etc. Dot 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 dot. You can always highlight the words here, so I'm highlighting them. And if you go to here, you could see the display size. So I can go to maybe caption, and it gets smaller. Okay. You can go to color, so I can, if I highlight this, and I'm going to expand it a little bit, you could just drag and drop it. Okay. So you can always, work here with your notes. You get the hang of it as it goes. Put the photo system notes up here. And, don't forget, again, you could do the sticky notes if, you could do the sticky notes right here if you want. And sticky notes are just as good here. Like, you could write something like, pay attention to the electron. And then, you could say, pay attention to the electron here, And maybe I made this a little big. Maybe I'll make it a little bit smaller. And pull this down. Pay attention to the electron. But you'll get the hang of it too. This is really cool, this Jamboard. So that's some ways to use it for math and for science. Now, excuse me, let's go back to our presentation here. So we're talking about using math and science, and this is more kind of for the secondary. This is more for a secondary level. So I guess you could say 9th grade to 12th grade. Although, if you're in 6th grade math or 6th grade science, I'm sure you'll be, touching upon the same topics and everything. So we started with this using the interactive Jamboard. Now I want to show you what's called interactive infographics. So this is something I used to use when I used to teach. When I first started teaching science, I was a biology teacher. And, I used to love having my students do poster boards, and we would create these cool poster boards. I loved hands-on learning, and they would cut out these little, I would like, for example, let's say we were doing something like the electron transport chain. I would have them, cut out little circles and little like string things to make look like lipids, and they would create this beautiful poster board and they would present it to the class. It was really gorgeous. But, especially now with what's going on with social distancing, it's more about using, virtual poster boards and things like that. So I've kind of created something like that. So interactive infographics, students can create with them. They can view. They can link to other materials. As a teacher, you can have students make their own and put it together. It's kind of like a puzzle. And students can create their own interactive infographics. So I'm going to pull up an example here. Okay, this is a Google drawing. Okay, now if you take a look here. It's a Google drawing, but you can do this. You can create this with a Google Slides presentation as well. It doesn't have to be a Google drawing. So you could also do it with the Google Slides. So it says interactive infographic, ETC is electron transport chain. If you look to the right here, this is what I really used. Like, that's my template when I built this. Okay, so I built these little circles just by going here to the shape, and I can go to shape, and I just took like little circles. This is a little circle. I'll make a circle here. You can see it, I created a circle, then I can go to copy. I've copied that, and then I can, again, paste. So this is how I created these little shapes. Very easy, just by going here to insert, and you could go to shape. Okay, you could pick some shapes. I'm going to delete them. So, you can create these on your own. So, so these are the shapes here. But if you take a look, I have the word extracellular fluid. Now, you see how it's underlined? That's linked to a YouTube video on extracellular fluid. That's why this infographic is interactive, because there's links everywhere. Okay, if you look at this little lipid insoluble molecule, it's also linked to like a discussion on Quora. What is the meaning of a lipid? Anything that's underlined, even here, leads to a link. This is like a link just to Wikipedia, right? This is a link to a YouTube video. So not only are students visually seeing it, but they're also linked to different content. Even if you see here, there's just a Word document. like a Word document icon. This is the student's actual assignment. So they'll use this to study. They can, watch videos, they can read articles, and then they can click this thing here, and it's actually a Google document on, take a look, it says biology class, it's a document on diffusion. So they're learning about, diffusion, and excuse me, they're doing an assignment on diffusion. They can, put their work in here. I believe it's on view access, so they'll make a copy and stuff. And, like I said, they can, students here, you can take these things and move them out of place. It's kind of like a puzzle. So I can, let's say take this and this and this one and drag them here. And then the students have to take these little pieces and put it together. So I'll take this here, and then other students will be like, okay, they have to put the lipids together here, and I'll drag it back down. And then they got to drag this one down. And it's kind of like a cool little, it's a cool little puzzle. Here's one that's out of place. Kind of fun for them. And, as students are able to build this, then, have them create their own interactive infographics. Okay. Something else you're probably wondering is, how did I put these links in here? Okay, how did I do these links? Well, if, for example, I click on a shape, or if I underline a word, I can go right up here to Insert, and then where it says Link, I'm going to click on Link, and then I could just paste a link right here. So maybe if I go, let's say I have a link here to, let's say, well, we'll just use a math worksheet for now. So this is a website for like math worksheets. I'm just going to copy this link. So I'm going to go to Copy. Then I'm going to go back to our interactive infographic, and I'm going to just paste this link in here. And don't forget to press Apply. And now this little thing that says Channel Protein is linked to a CUDA software worksheets for them. And I said you could do it with shapes too. I'll click on the shape. I'll go to Insert, Link, and that's how I can link it. I can link it to a YouTube video if I want, basically anything. So that's an interactive infographic, pretty cool. I want to show you one for math because we're doing math and science. So here's something, it's called Mr. Slope Guy. This is, a visual representation of, the different slopes, whether they're positive, negative, undefined, or a zero slope. And if you look at Mr. Slope Guy here, this is a straight line. Okay, so the straight line is a zero slope because it has these little circles. That helps the students, this is like, pretty much it's like a mnemonic. And, when you can teach with images, information is actually what's called it's dual encoded, meaning double encoded. So students learn the information visually, and they also learn it verbally because they have to say it to themselves. So as they're looking at this thing, they're learning the image, which is good for memory, and then they're saying, okay, the O is zero, straight line is a zero slope, so they're dual encoding information. So I've created this little thing here. It says Mr. Slope Guy. Actually, I just copied, this is just a picture I just copied off the internet, so I saved myself some time with that. And then over here I wrote horizontal line, zero slope. And then, the students still might be confused, so maybe you want to go here to where it says arrow, and I could just take a little thing and point so the students know this thing is zero slope. And then horizontal line, maybe you want to point, okay, that's the horizontal line to let students know. You could say undefined. You can connect that to the U. So the U is for undefined, and it says here vertical line because students might not know a vertical line goes up and down. This says negative slope. You could point it here. And negative slopes rise to the left, goes up to the left, whereas positive slopes, they rise to the right. And you could, and it's one way to, one way to teach here, right? This is an interactive infographic here. So this really isn't interactive because there's no links, but I'm just showing you for math something a little different that you can do with Google Drawings. Okay. So we've done Jamboard for math and science. We've got Google interactive infographics for math and science. Now let's go to YouTube. Okay, YouTube is very important here. So here I am in YouTube, And when you first go onto YouTube, it's going to ask you to create your own channel. So that's the first thing you should do. Create your own channel. It'll tell you the steps to take and things like that. So once you create your own channel, you'll be able to create playlists. So YouTube is good for two things. Okay, you can curate information and you can create content. It says here that you can filter YouTube videos for engaging content. So there's so many YouTube videos out there. You got to find the good ones. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to teach you how to find the good YouTube videos, the ones that students will find engaging and with the right content, one that's verified. And then you can take all these good videos and you can create a playlist, and that playlist will be specifically for your class. It'll be like a personalized playlist, which is great. So we're going to curate content into a playlist, and then I'll show you how you can just, very easy to create your own YouTube channel and just begin uploading videos yourself, and who knows, you make a couple videos out there, you show them to your students, maybe you get 1 million views, who knows, right? So let's start with filtering YouTube videos for meaningful content. So let's say you are looking for a YouTube video on, let's say, let's say photo, here, cell division. Let's go to cell division. So I'm going to type in cell division right here in the search query box, and it says cell division. And here's a couple different videos. Okay, and maybe you're looking here and you're saying to yourself, okay, there's a lot of different videos, but you want to find the right video. Maybe you're looking for a video that's real short, like a minute video. Well, if you go to this little thing here that says filter, so I'm clicking filter right here, you can filter for the duration where it says short, less than 4 minutes. And now all the videos I have here are less than 4 minutes. Or maybe you want to give your students a really long video. You can go to long. There's more than 20 minutes. These videos are much longer. You can see 50 minutes, 50 minutes, Phases of mitosis, 20 minutes. So, there's different ways to filter, okay? You can filter, I'm sorry, let me go back here. I just wanted to. You can filter by, rating. These videos are rated. You can go by, you want a 4K, HD. You can filter for a specific channel. If you're looking for like a channel that's like related to cell division here, I don't know if they'll have a cell division channel, but you could look for a channel maybe just on photosynthesis, and you can even look on recent. So if you're looking for like videos on like science journals and new articles that are going out that are like related to current events in science, you can click maybe this week, this month, something like that. So you're gonna filter your video. Now I'm going to jump to math. Now I'm going to go to home. So if you're a math teacher, let's just say, or a science teacher, it's going to be because of what happened with schools. Basically, because of what happened with schools, having to shut down and go virtual, there's going to be a lot of learning gaps. Okay, that students have to. There's going to be a lot of learning gaps that teachers are going to have to overcome for our students. And the only way to really overcome these learner gaps for students is to flip the classroom and get content out to them that way by, really giving them videos, because, we can't teach everything they didn't learn last year. So the best way and the only way I can really think of is you gotta send out these videos and have them watching it. I mean, you could send out paperwork and tell them to read a book, but I think videos are a much better way of learning. So let's say your students don't know anything about the quadratic formula. Well, you could pull up here. We'll search quadratic formula. Okay. And then what you're going to do as a teacher, you want to build, let's say, a playlist on quadratic formula. So what we'll do first is we'll pick a video. I'm picking this video here. It says quadratic equation. Now, let's say you watch this video, and I recommend you watching the video, make sure everything's correct. And again, once you create this playlist, you can save them forever.
But if you want to write essays that inspire, messages that forge
in first, and then once you do that, you'll be set up.
Hey everybody, welcome to another one of my math videos.
So let's say you're watching
this
video
I'm
here.
going to teach you how to use the quadratic equation using
you like this video. So what you decide to do is to save this video. You want to save it to a playlist. So if you want to save it to a playlist, if you look down here where it says save in this little plus, I'm going to click this little plus here, and I can save it to an existing playlist. that I've already created, or you want to create a new playlist. So I'm going to go to create new playlist, and we'll call this quadratic equations or quadratic formula. Okay, and you can make it public or unlisted. You might as well make it public because who cares, right? I mean, you're not the one on the video anyway. So we're going to go to create, and now this video is added to the quadratic formula playlist. If you would like to find your playlist that you're creating to curate content for your students, you'll find your playlist right here on the side. This is called the YouTube guide. If you look at this little hamburger icon on the left hand side, you click the little hamburger, and then it'll go down, and there's your quadratic formula. I can click it, and you see I have my one video. But you're not going to just want to have one video. Let's say you want to add a second video for the quadratic formula. Maybe you find this one here. You're going to open it up.
Okay, so in this video we want to understand the quadratic formula. Let's see if we can do it in about 10 minutes or so.
Okay, you like the video.
Now,
don't know why I'm not hearing anything. So you like the video. Let me get out of this real quick.
Kind of context about this formula and the subject.
And you're going to save this as well. So I'm going to go down here to the
basically,
save.
we're going to be studying the quadratic formula
save.
in Algebra 1.
Actually, I'm going to hit
you may
the plus,
see a little bit in
and then I'm going to add
but
it
it is
to
an absolutely
this one right here.
Critical
and take a look
formula
at the very
for
bottom
you to know,
left. It says add it to the
so
quadratic
let's just
formula.
give you some background
and now
real
if you
quick
go to your playlist
on
videos,
why you need to know it, and then we'll get into the actual formula.
I mean, there it is. And you can continue to build these playlists and curate content for your students, and use this to help close that gap. Now, okay, curating information, curating content from other students is one way to use YouTube, but you can also create your own videos. And it's so easy to upload a video nowadays on YouTube. You just can go right here, create a video or a post, and you can simply upload a video that you have on your desktop, or you can go live and sort of film yourself. Now, something that I recommend to make videos, if you might say to yourself, oh, I don't have video editing software. What I have up here is called Screencastify, and you can make videos for free, up to 5 minutes long. And what it does is record your computer screen. Okay, it's a Chrome extension. Okay, here it is, Screencastify. A lot of you already have Screencastify, and you could record for free. I'm not going to enable this webcam because I'm already recording this video using Camtasia. But if you would like to, record your screen as maybe you're doing math, so maybe you're doing this photosynthesis lesson, you could record this on Camtasia, on Screencastify, and then upload it to YouTube, so in case the student missed it, or you could use it for the next year and the year after and the year after. If you want to download Screencastify, I keep getting this wrong, you can go to the Chrome Web Store. I'm just typing in Chrome Web Store, and it'll be the first one that comes up. So, Google extensions are added to supercharge your Chrome, and you could find them all up here. And then you would just, you just type in Screencastify, and it's so easy. Here we go. I believe I spelled it wrong. And there it is. Okay, now it says it's been added for me. For you guys, if you don't have Screencastify, you just go down here, you just hit add to Chrome. If you don't have Screencastify. Oh, I'm sorry. So again, right? So here we are we're in YouTube, right? And if you want to upload a video, like I said, you can go right here to upload video, or you can go live. If you go to the YouTube Studio, okay, you want to go to the YouTube Studio, and I may have done that fast. I'm going to go back and show you how to get there again. The YouTube Studio or Creator Studio is where all your videos that you upload go, because now you're a creator of content. Okay. So let me close this here. So this is, I've created a brand account, just for like YouTube videos. You don't have to do that, but again, any videos that you've uploaded, you can go to videos, and you'll be able to see the videos that you uploaded. Let me just show you again real quick how you get here. If you're in YouTube, Okay, you open up YouTube, it takes you to the YouTube homepage, and the YouTube homepage is really for viewing videos. But if you want to go on the back end, the YouTube Creator Studio, where you can manage your own videos, you're going to hit your little profile icon and then go to YouTube Studio. Okay, YouTube Studio, and then it'll take you again, right? It'll take you to the back end. It'll take you to the YouTube Creator Studio. And over here, I'm in the Creator Studio, and I clicked on videos, and you could see your videos. So it just took me 23 seconds, 50 seconds. You can, once you've uploaded a video, it's very easy. You just go here. You can make it private, unlisted, or public. Public means anybody in the world can see it. Unlisted means you're going to have a link, and anybody with that link can view it. So if you're a shy teacher, maybe you go unlisted. If you're a teacher that doesn't care, you can go public, let the whole world see. And if you want to have private for yourself that's really nobody sees, that's up to you. So I'm actually going to make this one unlisted now. And maybe I want to make the other one private. The other one was unlisted. So you can change the visibility right here. This again, this is your channel dashboard, so you can get to your videos, you can create analytics. This is all this is all stuff once you start uploading videos that you'll get into. But for now, we're just focusing on uploading videos. So to upload a video, like I said, you would just go here. You would go to upload videos. So I'm going to show you how to upload a video. It says drag and drop to select videos. So I'm going to select a video from my computer, and if you're actually using Screencastify, you could jump past this step and it'll just send it to YouTube. That's something that's also great about Screencastify here. So here are some like videos and stuff, teaching videos. Maybe I'll do this one here, a video on dyscalculia. And so I'm selecting my video. All I did was hit that little plus. The video is getting uploaded. You title your video. You write a description about it. You really don't have to. As a teacher, you could put in a lot of class notes here. Okay, this is for class notes. You're going to have an option to choose a thumbnail. As time goes on, it's auto-generating it, so if you wait a little bit longer, you can pick your thumbnail, or you can upload your own thumbnail, and you can add it to one of your playlists if you want that you've created. You know what I mean? You could add it, if you made a video on the quadratic formula, click it and add it to that. It's going to ask you, it's COPA law, it's going to ask you if you made it specifically for kids. And when they ask you that, they mean is it for like little kids, like watching cartoons and stuff. You'll go with no. And then look, you just go to next. You don't have to worry about the video elements. That's like end screens and cards. You don't got to worry about any of that. And then it'll tell you, do you want to make it private, public, unlisted? And then you just go to save, and they begin making the video for you. They begin uploading it. It says 6 minutes here because that's like a movie file. So that's how easy it is to upload a video. I'm actually gonna delete this one because I really don't need it. If you can go, and something else that's great too about creating YouTube videos, and why I think it's good for teachers, is because students are already on YouTube. They use YouTube all the time as it is, and they'll make comments in your video, so you could check comments here. If there's any comments from students, and you can easily respond to their comments. I've made math videos years ago, and I still have my students from like 7 years ago who are in college now, and they're still have to, they're going back to my videos to watch it and ask me questions on it, and it's a great thing. So you make these videos, they'll last forever. And there's other things, subtitles, analytics. If you really want to get into detail, you can go to where it says account. You can go to your channel here. So I'm saying you're uploading videos. Maybe you're really enjoying uploading videos. Now you can make a channel page for your YouTube, and if you go to, so all I did was click here. I went to your channel. So I'm on, I'm on my channel, and then you can go to customize my channel. So from customize my channel, you can add a channel banner. Okay, see here it says add channel art. So I can make a little background art here. Okay, I'm clicking add art. And you can upload an image. You can go to the gallery. They have their own. So I'll click something. Let's say I'll click something like this, and it shows you this is what it looks in your desktop. Select. I mean, just like that, I got a nice little background. You can, they have an about section. Over here, you could, for the about section, you could describe yourself as a teacher. You can, see your playlists. You can promote other channels, a channel description, like we said here. And you can even add links. A great link to add would be a link to your class website. And the links pop up right here. So, you can really, you can really get good with this, with creating your own YouTube channel. And it could be for science or mathematics. So we're gonna take a stop off YouTube. And where are we? We're gonna go back to our original presentation. And now we're gonna look at Google Forms for differentiation. So like I said, there's a lot of learning gaps, right? We're having a lot of learning gaps because of what happened with the COVID and things like that. So one of the only ways to close these learning gaps is to, differentiate instruction. So if you take a look here, and I'm jumping ahead real fast. Forms is great for differentiation. So you can send students to different content. You could send students to different videos to watch and different, articles to read based on whether or not they know a certain question. So you could ask them a question, and I'll share this on, let's say, adding fractions. And if the students don't understand the idea of common denominator and they get it wrong, you could send them to a whole lesson on, common denominator. Whereas if the students already know about common denominator, you could let them move forward and go on to the next section, which is multiplying fractions. You can even upload images as answer choices in Google Forms. And again, you can insert videos, and you can have checks for understanding. So we're going to go over forms to differentiate instruction. And the math and science people, teachers, we're hit the hardest here. Now I'm teaching math. I think we're going to have the biggest challenge, due to COVID. So let me go to math differentiation here, and here is a Google form, and I've titled it math differentiation. It says prerequisites, and I asked them a question. This is from a jam, actually, right? So we would use Jamboard. All I did was write 2/3 plus 4/3 on my jam right here. I'll do a new frame. Click this, new frame, and then I just did, 2/3 plus, whatever it is, and I went to file and I downloaded as an image. And then in my form, you can upload images right here. So I can add an image. So I would upload that image and browse my computer. Now, the question says 2/3 plus 4/3. So take a look here. The answer, 2 is the correct answer, and 1/6 and 1/2 are the wrong answer. So if the student gets it right, and I'm going to click on this here. If the student gets the answer right, they're going to jump to section 3, which is multiplying fractions. So section 3 is down here, multiplying fractions. And if the student gets it wrong, they're going to go to section 2, and they're going to have to watch a video on the common denominator, and they're going to have to describe what they learned in the video. Okay, that's if they get it wrong. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm sending to students to different sections based on answers. Okay, so for example, let's take a look at I'm gonna delete this here, and I'm gonna show you how to do all this. So I'm gonna delete here. I'm gonna delete this problem, and here's another one, right? So let's say the students get multiplying fractions, 2/5 times 1/2. And I want to create two sections. I want to create a review section on multiplying fractions, and I want to create the new section, which is like, let's say, ratios. So if I want to create a new section, two sections to send them to, I'm just going to go right here to this double line. We'll call add section, and this will be multiplication, fraction, multiply review, because it's for the ones that get it wrong. So we'll call it fraction multiply review. And then I'll, here I'll go. I'll say, whatever. I could say, please. You could give them questions. Please view the video. And I'm going to insert a video. I'm sorry. The video is here. So I'm going to insert a YouTube video. So I clicked on, I don't want to rush. I click on this little add video thing, and I could say multiply fractions. I spelled wrong. There you go. Find a little video here. Right view, and then I could just, drag this up a little bit. Put it at the top. It says view, and I could say, I'll click here. Let's delete this one. I'll say my question will be, describe what you learned. So make them write something so they could tell you what they learned. What you learned. And because I want them to write a lot, it's on paragraph, so they can write a full paragraph of it. I wouldn't do a multiple choice. So if they get this wrong, I'm going to send them to a review section. I did that by creating a new section here. I titled that section, I put some review work, and then here, if they get it right, I have the new section already set up for them on ratios. Okay, now this has carbon and stuff. I'll show you how to do this later, but we'll get to that. So there's different sections now that we've created. So let's say here it says multiply fractions, and then we'll add a question to it. I'm going to go to add. Sorry. Add question. Give me a second here. It's getting a little glitchy. Okay, I'm sorry, it's popping out down here. You can always drag these questions up. You can always drag them up. So I'm putting this question right here. So multiplying fractions. So 2/5 times 1/2. So the answer should be 2/10. I'll put give the answer. And we'll make it multiple choice, because we're going to send them to different sections based on the answer. So I'll put 2/10. Actually, I'll put 1/5. I'll put 2/3. And I'll put 1/4. Okay. So if you want to send students to different sections based on if they get it right or wrong, you're going to go down here to these three little dots, looks like the snowman, and you're going to put go to section based on answer. So here, seeing if they get it right, I'm going to send them to the new section, which is ratios. And if they get it wrong, I'm going to send them to the review, fraction review. Fraction review. And now I'm differentiating instruction, because if they get it wrong, they have to do a different assignment, and if they get it right, they do they do their own assignment. So assignments are differentiated here. And something cool with science I just added, you could actually add images. So here's like a question I put: identify the carbon. If it says identify the carbon, and here's like an image of like a lipid. You can add images as your choices. I have a multiple choice here. So if you see option 3, if I click here, if I click option 3, if you look to the right, you could add an image as an option. Something that I wanted to share. So you can go to Google image search. So we have an image of a lipid. It says, I think, a carbon protein structure. There you go. So now you can see you have an image of a protein, you have a lipid up here, and you could tell students to, select answers based on images, which is, I think, great for forms for science. If you're doing science, it's great for forms. So this is a little bit about Google Forms. I have a whole video on that as well. A whole video on Google Forms as well. All right, let's go back to our training. Okay, 2 good websites. One of them is Google related, one of them's not. So Science Journal, we're going to go to that. That's Google related, and GeoGebra. Now GeoGebra is great. I'm just going to go here and I'm just going to type in GeoGebra. GeoGebra. And what I like about GeoGebra is that they have a lot of resources that have been created by other teachers, and they share that on the site, and you can find some great fun activities where it has students interacting, and they get to drag and drop and have fun. So take a look here. I just typed in GeoGebra. I went to the GeoGebra website, and the first off, I want to show you where it says resources. I'm just going to click on resources right on the left hand side, and a number of different math resources and activities are going to pop up, so you can explore some of them. One teacher I like here, Phelps, he's got some good resources, so I'm going to click on him. Let's see, and we're going to filter for his resources. For example, here's one, graph the line. So I'm going to select a math resource. You can share this with your students. Okay. Let me go back real quick. Let me do this first, and I'll show you how you can share it. So it says a negative 3x minus 3. So they can grab their little b, and negative 3 is the y-intercept. So have them go down here to negative 3, and the slope is negative 3. So we go right there, right? So it's you did it. Then let's get a new line. So negative 4x plus 4. Okay, so 4 is the intercept, plus 4 is the intercept, and then you got negative 4x. Right there. And then it's kind of fun here. They keep practicing, right? So 3 is the intercept, and then it's 2x. Or you could have them go down and do it, and then they'll learn as they go. Let me go back. And like I said, he's got some cool resources here. If you want to share this with your class, you just hit that 3 little dot, the snowman. You go to share, and look, you've got Google Classroom right here. That's great. Share assignments with them right on Google Classroom. And if you look up here, it's like the Google Apps icon. They've got geometry calculators. They've got graphing calculators. Just want to see something. Okay. Testing 1, 2. Yeah. All right. So give it a second. Okay. So if you want to, students, first off, it's kind of fun, right? So here I am in basic tools. You can make a point and another point and another point. You can make segments. Check it out. Lines. They can, and this is like the first stage thing, right? They can see here the difference between a point, a segment, a line, polygon. Check it out. You can make a polygon. Okay. So it starts off with basic tools, and you could go to more, and you could really get detailed, right? So take a look here if you want to know measure of angles. I'm clicking angle, and I'm just going to click here inside, and you can see, students can see, pull it out a little bit. They could see the angles. You could learn them obtuse angles. You could move it around. You could kind of drag the angles and make it a little bit further out so it's not really getting in the way. Array as well. Remember, all these things are like verbal descriptors here. Regular polygons. You can add images. You can add text to make your own little notes here. All right. You've got perpendicular bisectors. I'm not going to spend all day with this. The best way you can learn this is by really, and take a look. All I did was, over here was like our tools, but if you hit this little graphing calculator, it gives you some information. So you click on point A, it tells you where it is, point D, polygon, So this is some cool stuff with the geometry. If you want to go to a graphing calculator, again, I'm going to that little apps icon up there. And this is this is another graphing calculator. You can't complain because it's for free. Those TI-89s and whatever the number is, they're all expensive here. So let's say, I mean, here you are, right? And I want to show you something. This actually has a table of values. It's got the same basic tools here, you know, and you can begin. If you look down here, this is like a little keyboard you can do. So you can do like something like that. Let's just say you do X. Okay, there you go. As soon as I put an X, there's my graph of my X. So let's say X plus 4. And, you know, there's 1. You can add another one. Now you could do 2, let's say 2x minus 6, or you could do negative 2x minus 6. And now let me close this up. Okay, and now if you click right here, you can get the intersections here. Okay, you can click right here, it'll tell you the root, it'll tell you the y-intercept. I mean, if you, let me drag this thing a little bit here, click over here, it'll tell you the x-intercept. I mean, if you go up here, so let's say you're teaching x plus 4, you click this little snowman, I mean, you can get a table of values. Okay, press OK. Check this out. You've got the table of values of your y and your x. Very cool. Again, right, you can enter more graphs. You can do, I mean, you can do sine functions, and you could go 4x. You know, there's a lot to do. I'm not going to go over all this GeoGebra, but you know, the best way you can learn this is by going out and practicing yourself. I can give you a book on how to play soccer, and you can read it. You have no clue. Whereas if you just go out there and play soccer, you'll learn as you go. So, you know, I think that's the best way. I'm going to leave this site. And now I'm just going to go to Science Journal. And the Science Journal I'm going to, I want to go to Google Science Journal. So I'm going to go to Science Journal with Google.com. So I want to say that as well. It's Google Science Journal. And because what happened with social distancing now, I was talking to my friend. She's a physics teacher, and she's like, "Yo, what am I going to do? We have all these cool labs, and they all share equipment, and they, you know, you can't share equipment with other students, and they have to be washed down." This is great because the experiments here are one-on-one. Students can do it by themselves. They can use their phones. They don't have to share equipment, and you don't have to worry about, you know, passing germs on to everybody. I started the other day, and I practiced this little one right here. It says getting started with motion. Just a heads up, you have to download the app on your phone. Okay, the kids have to do it on their phone. It has all the sensors, everything, and it's an accelerometer. And you could throw the phone up and down and move it, and you can see the acceleration in the X, the Y, and the Z direction. And what's really cool is if you just lay the phone flat on your desk, you could see the Z acceleration is the speed of gravity. So it's 9.82 meters per second. And you just leave the phone there, and it's like, wow, that's pretty cool. So you could see it kind of proves gravity. You can filter for different, experiments. So I went to teachers. It'll tell you a little bit about teachers. Okay, if you want to filter the experiments, you go to experiments and take a look here. You can filter by level. I have it on beginner right now. You can go to beginner, you can go to phone only, and take it from there. All right, so I'm gonna stop right now. It's been a while. I'll see you next time.